Page 36, Lazy Haze. We have some syncopation going on here. See if we can get this rhythm figured out. They're sort of showing it to you at the top, but I don't like those things, so I'm going to use the music. Just going to go through the process for learning a piece of music and figure it out as I go along. I look it over. It's about 4 lines long. The clef signs are treble and bass clef. There's one sharp in the key signature. We're in the key of G major, so do the scale for G major and E minor, because it also has one sharp in the key signature. And it's a 4/4 time. Let's take it one hand at a time because the rhythms are a little weird. We're starting out in the right hand here, and we got accidentals. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that throws people some. I don't get that rhythm. What? Well, if the rhythm like this is giving you problems, then temporarily take out the ties and play all the notes. 1 and 2. 1 and. Because if you do that, it just kind of falls in. Kind of boring. Nice. Once you can do that, though, put the tie in. You just hang on to the note rather than playing it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So we're playing on the ands. The last measure, the first line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, if I take out the ties, 1 and 2. That's all it is. I'm just not playing the second note. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's all that is. And that rhythm pretty much is throughout. Second line's about the same. Okay, third line is similar, but you're up here. Okay. At the end of the third line here, if you don't want your thumb up in here, then do it. Just come down 3, 2. You don't have to hold it. You come down here and then here. This way your thumb is not up, your hand's not up in here. That's a personal thing. Fingering of the book is fine if you want to use it, but I prefer, I think, that just to keep my hand out here. Last line, you're back down here. There, last line, second measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Or that's all it is, but tie it. And reach down, and that chord at the end, isn't this lovely? Again, figure it out, because if you're not sure, figure it out. You spell out the chord. I'm coming. I need more coffee. I'm coming. There is an F natural, because there's a sharp in the key signature, so they need the natural sign. And then there's an A, and then there's a C sharp. I definitely need more coffee for that. And then they say to hold it until it dies away. That way you can enjoy it that much longer. You just gotta love it. I suggest you play it softly then. I don't know. Left hand. Well, you got here 2, and that's a B and a D. See, all 3 of those notes together is a G chord. Remember, a G chord, the bottom note's a G, it's every other note. Okay, so with 1 and 2, and then stay there, the thumb comes out. 3, 4, again. 2, 3, and then reach down 1 and this has the same rhythm as the right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and scrunch up. Okay, let's go to the end of the second line. You're here. And then the third line you get treble clef. They went the 5th finger. I hate it when they do that because the end of the second line, those quarter notes lead into the third line. They go together. I'm not going to split them up. No. I want a fingering that allows me to connect them. Now, they're keeping the fingering simple enough for you, but I would rather connect them than complicate it. No? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with third finger and then cross over. You can either do 4, preferably do 4. Just relax, it comes. If you'll relax, your thumb will move. You can turn a little bit, but just come over here, and that way you can do here and then come up again. Okay, this business in the third line of having to go from here to here, same fingers, I would rather do that than separate this. I don't want to separate that, so I'll separate this. And then I'm in position to go on. 1 and 2, and this is the end of the third line, same rhythm as the right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay. Put the heads together. Well, 1 and 2 and 3. So you're holding that down when you play that. Again, 1 and 2 and 3. And if you're just not getting it, take out the tie again and play all the notes. 1. See, it's not that bad. But then when you can do that, put the tie in. Just hang on to that note. The last measure, the first line again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's really the rhythm throughout. And once I can get the heads together, I go back through it carefully and slowly and get rid of any hesitations. And once I can do that, then I think about the articulation, and this is pretty connected. Rest. Rest. See, the rest you have to lift up. With the left hand, you can do pretty much anything you want. You want to connect them? You can't connect them totally. You could disconnect them. Experiment. Or now in the last measure you get the two neutral lines here. Hang on to those. Just linger on them. Don't rush that measure at all. Just take your time on that one. I like the idea of separating these slightly. Kind of helps it bounce along a little better. Then once I have an idea of the articulation I want, then I think about the dynamics. MP at the beginning, it applies to the melody, remember. MP is mezzo piano or sort of soft. Whatever. Not soft, just sort of soft. The left hand is very soft. Third line, you go up to moderately loud here. The left hand stays in the background. So forth. The last line is moderately soft, and the last two measures, they want moderately loud. 1. Well, they say hold that chord until it dies away. That depends on the piano. If you have a piano where it doesn't die away anytime soon, I suggest you just close enough and let it go. It's up to you. It's personal. It's interpretation, how you do it. It's like the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. This syncopation throws it off. I'm accenting the eighth notes. We're playing it sooner than we expect. That's sort of what we want. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's sort of what we expect, but we're playing that. We're playing it sooner. We accent it. It's just typical interpretation on accented notes. You would accent them just a little bit. In the last measure, you'd accent the first two notes you play, and then off. Because the first one you accent, it's a natural accent. The second one you accent because it's syncopated. It's interpretation, you decide. As far as the speed goes, a lazy beat around 100 to 106 is somewhere in there. Careful on the rest at the end. Just one, the last two measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Make sure you put in all those rests. They want it off. They want the rhythm to come off. They don't want the chord to come when you expect it. They're playing a little later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah. It's syncopated. When you play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any louds and softs. There isn't much anyway. We're going to go really super slow. Just, are you playing the same note I'm playing at the same time? Do you have all the right notes and rhythms? Okay. Just do it one hand at a time if you need to. 1, 2, ready and go, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3, 4 off.